Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Unlimited, where we interview people who are doing incredible things in the world. Episode of Unlimited, where we interview people who are doing incredible things in the world. Episode of Unlimited. Let me pause the live streams. We're doing this so that we can answer your chat questions as we go live. So if you're listening online, special thanks to Can TV, New Realities, and Portal to Ascension. If you'd like to come back and join us in the Zoom room to ask questions to Raquel, you can do that by going to lightnet.org/unlimited. That's going to get you into the Zoom room. So it's really great to be here with Raquel because she's a local here in the City of Light in Sedona.
And we get to meet in person.
Yeah, I know. It's so great. And Raquel is a fourth generation astrologer, and she's going to be talking to you guys tonight about everything you need to know about Pluto in Aquarius. So I have come to appreciate astrology. You know, I am fully admitting 5 years ago, I didn't know what a chakra was. I didn't believe in ETs. I definitely didn't believe in past lives. And I didn't think astrology was that, relevant. And then I started realizing so much, and I started believing and understanding so much. And I am so respectful that astrology is massive amounts of generations coming together with collective wisdom about the patterns that drive our personalities and our reality. And it's absolutely humbling and impressive to see that amount of collective intelligence in the field. So this is going to be an incredible night tonight. Raquel's going to be back with us on the 26th, for a hands-on members workshop. But welcome, Raquel. I'm so excited to have you. Why don't you tell a little bit about how you and your life and how you train other astrologers and your community and everything?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Zenka, and everybody here watching. It's a joy and pleasure to be here with you today, especially because we're all gathered together to talk about Pluto in Aquarius. And that is a topic that lights me up. So thank you for being here.
Yeah.
You asked about what I do in my school. Yes, I have a school where I teach astrology, and not just astrology, but how I use astrology, which is in a very unique way.
Really? You know that?
I call this is where you learn the heart, the soul, and the essence of astrology. So here you're not just reading and learning about the cookbook, 1, 2, 3, memorize, what's this house again? Here you're having a firsthand core experience with these energies as archetypes. So you get to go deep, and we learn about the psychology behind each of the alignments. We learn about the spiritual concepts and all of it. So in my school, we have a very beautiful community from around the world of students who I call astrology lovers in my community. And it's not only what I do, I also help counsel and guide people through this process, this transition. So if you go to my website, you can see all the different ways of being a part of my community, which is not just astrology, but it's also astrology. Cool. So you can have a session
Applied
with me.
Astrology.
I call it embodied astrology.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why? Because you help people know when to make certain decisions, or you help them know who they are?
We embody astrology in that classroom. We live and breathe. We become astrology. I mean, the cosmos is us. And when you understand each part of the cosmos as a part of yourself, and you start having that interaction with the cosmos from within yourself and understanding, and then from that place, understanding what they mean at that eclipse or at that new moon or whatever you're looking at, it's a whole different experience. So this is where, in my private sessions, I'm able to create an experience that I guarantee you have never experienced before. And it's a journey. We literally take a journey where it's going to be so unique to you. And it's a full session of downloads after downloads that comes directly from this link of understanding the heart, the soul and essence of each part of astrology. So in the workshops that we have with our students, we go so deep, so deep, so deep. It's such a journey. And actually, I'm happy that we're talking about this because I wanted to gift your viewers a bonus.
Cool.
And I wanted to gift them the last workshop that we had. So not only you'll have a little taste of what I mean about going deep and experiencing the heart, soul, essence of astrology as we talk about the October eclipses, but you also get information. You're also going to understand more about the energies of this month. This month of October is a month of 2 big eclipses. So we're not going to cover this here today. Yeah. So if you want to know more, do you want to dive deep with us? I'd love to gift.
That's so cool. I'm going to share that link. You know, Zoe was texting me because we're doing our metaphysical salon on the 28th. It's going to be a costume party here in Sedona. It's going to be amazing. She was like, oh, wow. I just realized, I think she said 28th is going to be an eclipse.
Yes.
A lunar eclipse. So
those are huge topics. I mean, these 2 eclipses are so big.
Why? What's the big deal about eclipses?
Well, you know, I mean, to keep it short, if you want to watch this bonus that I'm offering you, I have all the information in there. So I recommend you go in there because I want to stick to the Aquarius energy today. But basically, everything ties in together. So the eclipse energies are working together with the energy of Pluto entering Aquarius. And the eclipse energies are speaking about the process of the transition, the shift between the old reality and the new reality that we're going to be speaking about here with Pluto entering Aquarius. So these 2 eclipses, they are bringing I'd say, the end of this phase. This is the end of this phase before we start to bring in the very first signs of the new beginning. This is going to be the new beginning is coming in 2024, 2025. The very
beginning of the next couple of years change?
Yes. Now we are looking here at about a decade that we have to go through this transition and really start to embrace the new reality in our government, in our systems. But it begins in 2024 and 2025. So the fact that we are here at this point, which you can look at it as the beginning of this stage, the stage of what? Of everything crumbling and falling apart. That's what the eclipses are about. So there's 2 big eclipses, and these 2 big eclipses, they have themes that have to do with the transition of the old and then bringing in the new. So in this workshop, we go very deep with the heart, soul, and essence of what that means. This is also something that whether you're an astrologer or not, or whether you're familiar with astrology or not, you will benefit from this workshop. There's a little bit of information for everybody. There's spiritual guidance. There's information about the month and the next 6 months ahead. So yeah, we go deeper in there, and you can feel free to check it out. And actually, I'm going to just pop this in here because this may make it easy also for you to remember. This particular bonus, all you have to do is send me an email, and I will send you a personal email back. If you send me an email to Raquel, Raquel, it's in that list that I gave you.
Okay, then I just put it on all the broadcasts.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So Raquel at raquelspring.com. Okay, Raquel, Raquel at raquelspring.com. Not plural, springs, just spring. And then send me an email and ask for that bonus of the workshop of the eclipses, and I will be happy to personally send it to you.
Cool. Yeah, it's so great to get in there and to learn about this stuff, because it's like you think you're done and then you're not done. There's no growth. It's like, okay, what do I need to know now?
Oh my goodness. And astrology is such a great guide to help us know.
And we're doing it together because it's like even though we're individuals, it's like washing over us these like similar energies. And so we're seeing, how do I react to this? How do you react to this? But tell me, I don't even understand what Pluto is. I don't even understand what the energy is for Pluto. So let's go basics.
Okay, well, so Pluto entering Aquarius is the theme of this workshop. And I want to just, before I begin, I want to reiterate the next workshop that we have in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
That will be a continuation of this one.
Cool.
So the name of the workshop, the next workshop, is called
Superhuman.
Becoming Superhuman. Is it?
That's like, yeah, that is probably, that's actually, we didn't realize when Coffee named that's actually the name of, I think it's Corlin Carey's, her whole series, but it's something that's so close to my heart and to LightNet is like saying, hey, we have much more abilities than we ever dreamed. But why do you care about it?
Too? Well, it's interesting because this word, I'm starting to see this word come out more and more. Superhuman. A lot of people starting
part
to
of
pick
Aquarius.
Up on it. Well, it's the energy that we're heading into next.
Because of Pluto or because of Aquarius?
Yes, both. I'm going to explain why and how. But it's a collective energy that's coming up now more and more because this is where we're heading next. So I love to see this as an astrologer. I'm just like, yep. Cool. It was time. We've been waiting for you. And people are starting to pick up on that energy more and more. So yeah, I'm happy to explain what that means. But just to let you know, on the next workshop is where we're going to dive deeper into what becoming superhuman means.
Cool.
There, I'm also going to answer questions
about people's personal charts.
I'm also happy to answer questions here about the things that we discuss here. But in the other one, we're going to get a little more personal. And I'm happy to answer questions based on your chart as well.
Cool.
So that's exciting.
We had like chart mania during Contact 250 because everyone's looking at their star lineage chart. And you can actually, when you're born, we were looking with Altair, like, okay, what star nations were present. So it really blew everyone's mind. And it was super interesting.
Because when you can get all this energy and put it into a personal context that actually makes sense to you, I mean, there's nothing more inspiring than that confirmation.
I have to admit, I kind of had like a personality crisis when I started looking into all these patterns, like the Enneagram and the 16 personality. I was like,
oh, really?
Oh my gosh, I'm living I felt like I was just a blueprint. Like I was like, oh, I thought all my ideas and actions were creative and springing forth for me. I'm like, no, I'm just like an algorithm that like I have no choice but to be this because that's who I am.
Oh, you had the experience. Oh my gosh. I get you. You know what? When I learned astrology, I went through like a year and a half of a literal life crisis. Literal. I was so angry. I was so upset. I'm like, okay, someone has some explaining to do. Like, what?
Where's my free will?
Exactly. I literally went through a year and a half of a life crisis. I was like, how am I even supposed to speak about astrology if it was such a heartbreak and a sense of anger of like, it's really someone has everything already mapped out for me. Crazy.
But you guys, we're becoming superhuman and we're going off road right now. And that's the evolution. That's why it's more fun to go off road. And that's why, because we are breaking out of the norm.
That is Aquarius. That is the energy of Aquarius, good. But even the aspect of questioning, who am I? Do I have free will? It's all part of the process. It's part of the process of consciousness becoming aware of itself. Who am I? What is going on?
So you guys, I want you right now in the chat, whether you're on Zoom, Portal to Ascension, wherever you are in the chat, in the comments, tell us what you think of free will.
Oh, that's a big topic. Yeah. I did come to a conclusion at the end of that year and a half. I had to if I was going to go on with my work.
I know. I'm like, to say we have free will. Otherwise, I'm just going to lay down.
I was looking at the heavens and I'm like, what if I refuse to do it?
No,
God tells me what to do.
Right.
Anyway,
Wow.
that's another subject. And we can definitely have another interview and talk about that. But
Yeah. So
let's get
okay,
on with
roll back.
Aquarius.
So yeah, explain Aquarius, explain Pluto. What's the big deal about
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah. So let's get a little serious now.
All right.
You know,
Serious
there
fun.
is a really, really powerful energy coming into our reality right now. And it's coming from Aquarius. Now, maybe some, maybe most, maybe all of you have heard about Aquarius and the age of Aquarius and Pluto entering Aquarius and Aquarius this, Aquarius that. What does that mean? You can think of the 12 signs. You're aware that we have 12 signs that belong to 12 specific constellations. And you can think of the 12 signs, this is how I teach my students, as 12 archetypes. And this is a common language in so many different systems, you know, the archetypes. You can see that in the tarot, you can see that in numbers, you can see that in so many things. And so many different aspects of creation that have certain archetypes. Yeah. And they resonate. It's almost like they belong to a certain bandwidth or frequency. Yeah. And you can encompass a lot of different traits, if you will, to that frequency. So you have 12 different ones. So each one represents a bandwidth of information.
I just had this flash where we're like, before we're born, we're like, Raquel, what are you going to jump into? She's like, I'm going to be this one. I'm going to be this. We actually probably chose which band to jump into. So, but now I'm glad we're in Aquarius, because Aquarius, how would you describe it? Like what we're going through?
The energy of Aquarius really belongs to a deeper voice of freedom. And it really is the freedom that happens when we wake up, when we realize, we wake up to the cosmic mind. We wake up to the, this is why themes like higher self, for example, is so big right now at this stage, because we are tapping into this energy of Aquarius, where it is an energy that you wake up to see that we are all one. We are all connected. And this understanding of the higher self. This is an energy here that I want to really bring forth for you to feel into the higher self, because the higher self is something that only now we are ready as humanity to understand about. And so this higher self is also tied into, I spoke briefly in the other video that we did together, of the age of Leo. Okay. And the age of Leo is the age that mirrors the age of Aquarius in a straight line. Aquarius and Leo are opposites to each other. So the age of Leo, which happened 12,000 years ago, this is where we had the rise and fall of Atlantis, the era of the gods. Leo is the sovereign energy. This is where man knew itself as, or let's say God knew itself as man. Yeah. And it was a very glorious time, and so many amazing things were even created at that time.
Well, why is it opposite?
Well, you can think of the constellations, you can think of a circle, and you can think
just
of
the
that
position it's opposite, or it's like energetically opposite?
Also. Yes, exactly. No. So we're making a direct relationship to the aspect of sovereignty, to the aspect of the higher self in another octave, in another reflection, which is Aquarius. So this is an era where we are understanding that we're more. We're understanding that we are energy. We are understanding that we are not limited by the linear perception, the linear expression. We can just think of things and manifest or bilocate or communicate. It happens instantaneously, because that's the energy of Aquarius. And these are all expressions of what happens in our explanation, what happens when you're tapped into your higher self. But it actually is an attribute of Aquarius. So the energy of Aquarius, because it stems from freedom, it is seeking to break free from the old. It is seeking innovation. So some of the expressions of Aquarius is rebellion, revolution, even chaos, and different ways of expressing that sense of individuality. I am not a part of the group anymore. I am a sovereign being. I am my higher self. And from this place, I want to create. I don't want to be one more told what to do. And so this is what's happening collectively as people are more and more waking up to this sense of independence and individual expression. This is because the higher self is waking up and knowing itself as this independent creator. But that only happens because when you wake up to your higher self, you realize that you're not alone. And so this is the beauty of Aquarius, is that Aquarius also symbolizes that cosmic web. And this is where you can think of that cosmic web as being a direct feature of Aquarius. So anything that happens in Aquarius, even people that have, let's say, a sun in Aquarius or a moon in Aquarius, they naturally carry the attributes of this archetype, which is the need to be free, the need to be different, independent, even if it means they need to be a little rebellious or controversial. They carry that because they are here to bring the future. They are here to bring innovation. And the Aquarius energy comes in with a lot of energy because it symbolizes pure energy. So these are all attributes that we're waking up to. That's why words like energy is not going to be a woo-woo word anymore. More and more, it's normal. Everything is going to be based out of energy or understood as energy. Lasers and work with that type of technology is going to be so normal for us in our reality very soon. So Aquarius is symbolized by the little waves, but it's not water. It's not water. It's literally energy from the cosmos. So Aquarius represents the energy from the collective consciousness. And this is really powerful because we're not just talking about humanity's collective consciousness. This is where it becomes really powerful, Zenka, because we're talking here about the cosmic collective consciousness. And this is where what you do is coming into the picture. And I light up to see what you're doing because you're paving the way. I mean, someone's got to start, right? And you are paving the way and helping people access this part of themselves that is going to become mainstream and normal very, very soon. And a big part of it is to connect with the cosmos and start to form the connection, not because they were never there, but perhaps we weren't fully ready. 50, 100 years ago, we didn't have the capacity, the physical, the mental, even the emotional capacity for that. And so everything has its time. Everything has its cycle. And now, as we are bringing in the energy of Aquarius, we can understand more of that vibration. We can understand more about the cosmic connection. So curiosity, people's curiosity is going to start to grow. Yay. Information is going to start to come in really fast about space, about the cosmos, about life in other planets, and that's going to start to become more and more normal for us. So we are really looking here at the turning of a page into a brand new reality. And that's basically what the energy of Aquarius means. So we have two main events that are bringing in this energy of Aquarius. One is this is the bigger cycle that belongs to a cycle of a little over 2,000 years. It's a big one. It's a big one. We're not even
Yeah.
fully in it yet. I believe we still have another couple hundred years
Wow.
to go, but it's a transition. So this is why we need to speed it up. We need to speed it up. But we have a period of about 2,000 years where we are aligned directly with a constellation. And it takes about 2,000 years for us to very slowly travel through the whole constellation. So we are just leaving now the age of Pisces and getting ready to enter the age of Aquarius. So
what was Pisces? What was Pisces?
The last
energy?
2,000 years.
I know, but what was the energy of it?
It's so beautiful because Pisces is the sign in astrology, the essence, since we're speaking about the archetypes and their essence. Pisces is the essence of unconditional love. Pisces also represents the highest states of spirit. This is where you completely transcend and just merge and become one. It's even a greater step than Aquarius, because Aquarius, there is that light bulb goes off and you're just like, wait a minute, I'm a creator. And you have that like higher self, like I want to access that sovereign part of me.
See, this is a pattern. We have no choice but to get it. We thought we were so cool and innovative, but it's actually everywhere.
Oh, it hasn't even begun. Well, Pisces is where you just dissolve all of that and you transcend even the idea that I'm a creator, and you just kind of like, I'm just one being. So Pisces is all about spirituality. It's all about unconditional love. It's all about mysticism. You know, there are many attributes to Pisces that we've been navigating over these last 2,000 years. And the big pivotal catalyst for the age of Pisces coming into the planet was the birth of Christ. So the birth of Christ initiated the age of Pisces with a very strong bang. And then from that point on, humanity spent 2,000 years catching up to what love is, that we have spirit, right? We are spirit. Later in these last couple hundred years, we started to become more intrigued about the human personality and psyche more than just the body. Before it was just like the primordial instincts, but Pisces really made us get in touch with the psychology, the soul, asking deeper questions, mysticism, metaphysics, and just really start to look for that point of transcendence, including through drugs, music in the latter years. You know, this really was the energy of Pisces coming to that culmination of us getting ready to meet spirit. And open our hearts as well. The Christ consciousness is the heart.
Yeah. And they say that, you know, there isn't going to be another Messiah. Like, so it's up to us now to embody the Buddha, the Jesus, the whatever, the Mary, you know what I mean? So that's interesting because one of the things that struck me as you were talking about how Aquarius is this age where we're going to strike out and say, find our individuality and also, you know, find our creatorship in this web, this collective web. And so my sister was telling me, Gretchen Rubin just came out or did a book called The Happiness Project, and 80% of the world are obligers. And obligers are obligers? It's like someone that has an external. I'm not from
this country, by the way.
Yeah, so she invented the word, but it's someone that's obliging is putting everyone else's needs, desires, and expectations first. So you get a population of sheep because we're all just doing what we're told and we're doing what's expected of us. We're doing what other people want us to do. Yeah. Right. So now we're peeling out, like we've got to flip that ratio. Maybe we'll have 80%. And that's why a lot of people are talking about these different governmental systems and societal systems where it's live and let live. Like, you can do whatever you want as long as you're not infringing on my own freedoms and ability. Like, so that's interesting. So, okay, now I really understand Aquarius. What's the deal with Pluto?
Oh, okay. Well,
step by step. I have all these like comedy routines going in my head where like your higher self's like, hello, Zenka, are you there? Like, Are you ever, like, it's like a mom who's trying to get in touch with the kid who's like not even like, not even interested in hearing anything. And it's like, hello, like our higher selves have been trying to get in touch with us, the car, for a long time. And
Well,
like,
well, that's the beautiful thing about the stages of 2000 years that we have to evolve. So we can't take these huge quantum leaps if we're not ready for it. And this is why we're at that stage now where we are ready to have more independence. We are ready. We're not going to go killing someone just because, maybe they didn't pay the rent, or like back in the olden days, like that's how it was. And it was so we jump from there to there. And it's the same concept for the higher self. We couldn't go from an era of that was so barbaric in many ways from our perception today into understanding what a higher self means. So
into teleportation, as
exactly.
You said.
So this is the beautiful thing about the ages, is because we have time to transition into these different stages of evolution where we're ready for more.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to go through the initial stages of opening our heart and understanding love and understanding spirit through Christ. Through Christ opened the door, then afterwards for a series of religions to come into the picture. And they were all helping humanity take baby steps into connecting with something more. So the beautiful thing is that now this, second coming of Christ really is the understanding that we're all Christ. We are all higher self, right? We are all sovereign. So, but we couldn't understand that back then.
Yeah.
So this is why we needed to have this whole process until now we are ready to understand higher selves and become that and have that experience. So based on that, we are at a place now that I'm going to answer your second question now about Pluto, that we are ready to step into this level of authenticity, this level of independence, this level of freedom that you were speaking about, where nobody wants to be one more. The days of being in a company where you're one more of 30 or 50 or 100 people is done. Everybody wants to, did you notice that everybody just wants to share their thing? I mean, that's why platforms like Facebook or Instagram, like they harp on that principle, but it's a principle that's emerging that everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to show their gifts because everybody has something to say. Everybody has something to offer. We don't want to be in a mold anymore. And so Pluto in Aquarius is another factor. I said there were two main factors of Aquarius coming in. The bigger one was the age of Aquarius.
2,000 years,
The age of Aquarius, it's a part of a much bigger energy and cycle coming in.
Brand new.
Pluto entering Aquarius is also a big deal because he is the slowest moving planet, and he only has this experience of coming into Aquarius every 250 years.
Whoa.
So it's a pretty big deal.
Big deal.
When you look at this in the macrocosm and you look at the 2000 year that we are actually entering, and it's not a big deal, but there's going to be many Pluto and Aquarius cycles, but it is a big deal because all the other planets, they move faster. So
wait, so it's lasting 200 years, the Pluto in Aquarius for right now? Or
no.
It happens every 200 years. So it'll happen a bunch of times.
Yes.
10 times.
So all the planets, so what happens is you can think of the planets in the solar system, and you can think of them as just basically moving in a orbit, in a sphere. Right. So they all have different speeds. So for example, and Pluto is the slowest one.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So because Pluto is the slowest one, anything he does is a big deal because it takes a long time for him to get to that part again of the cosmos. He also travels very slowly. So he's going to be in Aquarius for 20 years.
Okay.
And that is unusual of any planet.
Yeah.
Okay. The planets don't stay in signs for that long. And this is a really strong energy that is going to stay with us now.
20 years is a long time.
It is a long time. So all the planets, they also have their orbits, they have their cycles, they have their meanings and interpretations. And you can think of astrology as a computer program.
Totally.
You don't need to understand the computer program, but you can associate and understand that there is a pattern.
Yeah.
There is a result, right?
Yeah.
The how do you say
filter on your life.
The what?
It's like a filter on your life.
Absolutely, but it works with patterns. It works with cycles. It's very mathematical.
Yeah.
Astrology is very, very mathematical. And this is why we can predict, even though I don't like that word. So Pluto entering Aquarius is an energy that is a powerful one, and it's synchronizing with this whole transition. So what does it mean when Pluto enters Aquarius? Remember how I said that all the 12 signs, they have different attributes to them.
Right.
When a planet enters a sign, it starts to receive those attributes. And then that planet is going to express itself with those attributes.
Like plaid. Like two colors blending.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So you get,
interesting.
The fastest moving planet, Mercury, and Mercury, it takes less than a year for Mercury to go all the way around. And Mercury, every time he goes into a new sign, he starts to express itself under the characteristics and traits of that sign.
Of that sign. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So you're going to start to notice those themes alive in the collective, people behaving more in that way. But the way that I see it is that it all belongs to a greater evolutionary pattern. So we go through stages, and these energies, they just bring the cycle and the filter for us to experience that moment. So Pluto is the fastest moving planet, and Pluto
slowest moving.
The slowest moving planet.
Right.
Thank you. The energy of Pluto is associated with transformation.
Wow.
And Pluto, if you know anything about Pluto in astrology,
which I don't,
you know that Pluto does not mess around. Pluto is the planet of complete transformation, because Pluto only has one desire alone, and that is to evolve. That is to transform. That is to experience metamorphosis.
Interesting.
Literally. And so Pluto is associated with the death and the rebirth.
Wow.
And whenever Pluto comes around in your chart for anything, or any time that you have a connection in your chart with Pluto, because this is something very personal that maybe you can be having, not me, So every time that someone or a collective or a country or a new moon, we connect with Pluto, we touch into the energies of transformation on the most profound level of metamorphosis, complete destruction of the old and a rebirth of what emerges from that. So there is no end and there is no beginning with Pluto. I always say that Pluto is the planet of power. And I always say, if you did not die with Pluto, you're not going anywhere. Trust me, because Pluto is all about transcending what used to be and then emerging in greater power.
Wow.
So the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, this symbolized a time for humanity, when humanity was ready to transform and experience the metamorphosis that Pluto naturally carries, together with the energy of the rebel, the revolutionary, the innovative, the cosmic awakening. And I'll tell you what, 250 years ago, when Pluto entered Aquarius, this really, to me, symbolized the first few stages of the age of Aquarius coming in. So this was a very powerful event when this happened. It was only a few years later when the ruler Uranus was discovered as well. For those of you that understand a little more of astrology, I just spot these synchronicities and I'm like, wow, they're so alive and they're so conscious. And it's almost like they're all saying simultaneously, it's time. So what happens when they say it's time? They start to turn on and activate the little antennas of humanity, the little points of awareness that are able to assimilate that energy, receive the information.
So you're saying the last time Pluto was in in
Aquarius.
in Aquarius still that we discovered Uranus?
It was around the same time.
When did Aquarius start though?
So, okay, so we're talking about Pluto entering Aquarius, and this is not the age of Aquarius. But I did say that was, in my opinion, when we are in this transition. Yeah. We are not in the age of Aquarius. We are getting there.
Okay. Yeah.
So Pluto entering Aquarius in 250 years ago was the beginning of humanity saying, I'm ready for the new. I'm ready to know my higher self. Yeah. I'm ready to break free from having to be told what to do.
Following.
Yes. Right. So that was a catalyst for what in history we associated with the Industrial Revolution. Many different types of political revolutions started to really emerge around that time.
Interesting.
Okay. And really come into the picture strong because there was this movement of freedom.
Yeah.
People wanting to break free. At that same time, there were a lot of new inventions. Science started to pick up and discover new things, and lots of inventions started to come in around that time. And then it just started to accelerate.
Interesting.
Because we discovered Uranus, and then it just, look at where we're at today with cell phones and internets and.
Yeah, because that's like a totally shocking thing to be like, oh yeah, there's a whole nother planet. Like, and Uranus is like technology, right?
Yeah.
I have a lot of it in my chart.
Yeah. Oh, no wonder. Science. It's science, it's technology, cool. The energy of Aquarius and Uranus, they're all about the future. And so it is all about the futuristic, the innovative, the scientific, and where science meets reality. So we are more than ever now embracing this energy. And it first started to come in 250 years ago. And then now that Pluto is coming back into Aquarius, it's going to be a new version of this freedom revolution. People are ready for more independence. This is where we start to see the different countries, different states in the countries starting to want more independence and maybe not have to be part of the country anymore. Like you said, have more autonomy, maybe have the states be responsible for their own
personalities or whatever.
That's one of the byproducts of it. And we may start seeing more of that, but it's more going to be like the people are ready to say, no, I'm not going to just do it because I'm told to anymore. They're going to start questioning. They're going to start rebelling more. And the most important thing is that people are ready to tap into their authenticity.
Cool.
This is why so many people right now have been feeling so lost and without a purpose. This is where I want to comfort you. I work every day with clients. I do one-on-one sessions. I do collective work. I see this theme collectively in the world. And of course, in the astrology, there is a sense of feeling lost right now. There's a sense of not knowing where to go moving forward. Who am I? What do I do? This is because we cannot associate ourselves anymore with what used to be. And many of us are going through this transition where, many people are still trying to identify themselves with the old model. Yeah. And this is in all aspects of life, in work, in relationships, with families. But now we are ready to let go of all of that. Like that metamorphosis that I was talking about, and really open up to just embracing a new beginning, embracing a new reality, where you get to live your voice, your truth, not because you have a list of things to choose from of what you want to do when you grow up and what you need to study for and what parents tell you to do. No, now this is why people are combining now so many different techniques, different modalities. Yeah. It's all about the new and the original. This is where we're heading next.
Yeah, that's so cool. We're it's so funny. I had like this crisis because I didn't realize. So I'm new to spirituality. I didn't realize there was more than one Buddha. Like Buddha is a description of someone that becomes self-realized themselves, And so I didn't know. So we're all figuring out what type of Buddha we are, right? Because you can't copycat Jesus Christ or Buddha anymore. You got to
you have to
are
be
you
original.
Buddha? Are you not Buddha? So
Even
this is so cool.
spirituality is shifting,
Yeah,
you know?
this is so
Yeah.
cool. So LightNet, well, first of all, I want to ask everyone that's watching today to go ahead and hit a like on this video if you're liking it. I want you to hit subscribe wherever you're watching this.
Yeah.
This is like a vote for this kind of content.
Yeah.
So please do that. And I was just asking you if I could interview for you for our purpose lab. So LightNet, we did the contact lab for many years where we help people make ET contact. Now we're inspired to help people find their purpose. And there's many ways to do it. It's gene keys, it's astrology, it's, traveling the world, it's meditating. I don't know what we're going to find, but we're going to look for patterns. So just a little sneak peek of that. We're going to be working with the Holo movement on this. So it's a really fun project.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we just interviewed Bruce Lipton. And you guys, I also want you, our LightNet on YouTube, you might want to subscribe also because we're going to be releasing a Linda Moulton Howe interview that's absolutely amazing. She talks about agape love. She talks about her entire career, sticking with it, like talk about a pioneer. And she also talks about the origins of the human race, but I can't give away any more, but that's coming up very soon. So I also want to invite people that are watching online to get into the Zoom room, because pretty soon we're going to open it up to your questions. So to do that, it's lightnet.org/unlimited, where you can grab and get into the Zoom to ask Raquel questions. And if you want to go to the workshop, please become a member. We're calling them donor supporters. We're nonprofit, and for $8 a month, you're actually donating to collective wisdom, to software, to information being shared, and to predominantly hands-on workshops, because we want you guys to experience your own greatness, your own miraculousness. And that often happens when we do hands-on stuff. So
I just love what you do, Zink. I really do. I mean, it's just so Aquarius. Yeah. I'm like,
that's
the
cool.
biggest fan.
Well, it's not me. It's just like, I'm just filtering through the whatever pattern I chose. We all jump through these patterns. I'm just playing the part and showing up. Thank God. But I was lost.
Someone's got to do it.
I was lost for most of my life. So I'm trying to make up for time. So is there anything you want to share, Raquel, before we go into Q&A?
Oh my gosh, it's already, we've already been here almost an hour.
Oh my gosh. So I want to let you guys know, if you're in the Zoom room, you can hit the reactions button. It's like the little happy face, and you can raise your hand and we'll bring you up to ask your question. You can also type it in, but I think it's better if you raise your hand, because we'd love to see your amazing face.
And I'm seeing someone asking here, would you please list Raquel's info that you put up? So we're going to put my info, the list over there.
Yeah, so we're sharing.
Or are you sharing in the YouTube?
Yeah, we did here as well, but I'm going to share it again. Okay. So we're sharing her website, her email, this bonus thing that she's offering.
Workshop on the eclipses.
And also the ability to book a session and get on your newsletter. So that's really cool.
I have. Yeah, there you're going to see a few lists of a few options of how you can connect with me, what you want to do if you want to sign up for my newsletter and receive regular updates of these astrological energies.
Oh, wait. So I have a question, because now you've given us the pattern of 2000 and the pattern of the next 20 years. So what's the deal with these eclipses, and what's the deal with this month in particular?
I know. Wait, we only have we have to wrap it up.
Oh, no.
Okay. So I will share a minute about the eclipses, but just remember, if you want to know more, you can just email me and I'll send you the bonus of this video. Okay. So the eclipses really they're working together. Everything is connected. So even Pluto entering Aquarius is paving the way for the bigger revolution of 2000 years. So everything is connected. And so the eclipses are paving the way for Pluto entering Aquarius. And you see how everything is connected with like the bigger thing coming up. And so the eclipses of this month are a big energy. This is where we are really making that collective and individual transition of realizing that the old is not coming back. We are not going back to the old models. I've been waiting for this moment.
I always said, you gotta study teenagers because they're not scared of change. They actually like it.
They do. Some adults too. And if you have a lot of Aquarius and especially Sagittarius, Aries, they love adventure and they love new. So it just depends on how you are. But it can be a little scary to look at the world and see that we are at the verge of such a big change.
Unknown.
I often think of like our parents and grandparents when the internet came out, and how it must have been such a big shock to them. How like all of a sudden from one day to the next,
right now,
everything went digital. The bank cards, and like our grandparents were like, what? Right? What's happening? I get a sense that it's going to be something like that, but much bigger. So technology, it's all good. And on the next workshop, I will give some dates. You talked about EP contact. Remind me, because there are certain dates next year where we can just pierce through the veil more.
Where we're ready about that.
Remind me, because there's so
okay, interesting. Yeah. For the investment of $8.88, you can
I shared this with my community, and I had someone from my newsletter write me back and said, Raquel, you made a mistake. You put $8 for that.
I know. We're
like, did you mean 88? Did you mean 888? You made a mistake. No, that's how good of a deal it is.
I know. I have a big heart. I want this to be like available to everyone. Yeah, lightnet.org/join. We are probably going to raise our prices, but get in there now.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll go into more details there. So the eclipses are, speaking of, let go, stop being stubborn, let go. You are ready to let go of the old models, the old ideas, the old desires. There's a lot of people that are still trying to make certain things work. And it's not like relationships. Honestly, there's a lot of relationships that have served their purpose and have completed karmic patterns. Did you know, have you heard anybody already talk about the fact that we are closing an evolutionary process of having to go through karma?
What do you mean?
I know that the new kids anymore, my dear.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
We have no option but to complete
karma,
conclude the contracts. That's it. We don't need to keep coming another 500 years to work something out. We need to work it out now. And that's why things are so extreme, so intense. So the eclipses are, get over it. You are looking at a new reality that you are ready for. Let the old go. Let the old relationships go. Let the old models that don't work anymore. Lifestyle, health, how you take care of your health, the foods you eat, even what we do for work. Let that go.
Yeah. It's so hard because the known is even if it's bad, is like unknown. And so you're letting go of something, not knowing what's coming.
Yeah.
But usually, especially for spiritual people, you've made space for something better, and that's the thing. And it often comes pretty quickly if you're changing your energy enough. It's like it will literally give you space to get what your new energy is attracting. But if your closet is full, or if your life is full with not so great, there's no room for anything to come in.
Exactly. And this is where I also look at this time that we're going through as a time of decluttering.
Yeah.
So it's exactly that. We are making room for the new. So in light of that,
forgiveness.
Decluttering. Exactly. That's the decluttering. It's on all levels. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, and basically what we are decluttering.
Losing luggage is a good thing.
What?
Oh my gosh, 4 is my favorite number. So whoever in the chat, that's 4 in this flight. Losing
What?
lives. Yeah,
I am
it's like
totally
your,
lost.
it's like, you know, your baggage
Oh my
type
God,
of
you're
thing.
so
You know, it's just like,
Yes.
I always say, like, take off your backpack, like forgive,
Yes.
because that is like Ram Dass talks about it. He's like, look, karmic, it's not like getting rid of karma is not anything but just
Getting
being
rid of
like,
excess
thank you
weight.
so much. This is goodbye.
Yes.
You know, I forgive
don't
you, you
need-
forgive me.
Exactly.
Like everything's cool. Let's not trigger each other.
Yes. I mean, that's why people are going through it so much right now. It's because they need
So
to get to
hard.
that place of just willingly understanding that it's time for them to close that chapter,
With their job.
gain the wisdom from it, and then become more, tap into more. So a big tip that I like to leave people with, and I'd like to offer this to everybody here watching, listening, a big tip on how to declutter. Just one tip. There's many ways, but one tip is unplug from the system as much as you can, because the system right now that is blaring news and all this information of tragedy and fear and all of that is the same system that is crumbling.
Yeah.
It's the same system that we are outgrowing.
Yeah.
So in light of that, I want to invite you to make
throw
a
your TV out the
conscious
window.
choice on where you're going to give your attention to,
Mhm.
because attention equals energy.
Yeah.
What are you feeding?
Yeah.
And this is where it's so helpful to find communities like what you have going on and really start to engage more with people that are aware of the same reality, aware of the same concepts, aware of the same projects and the new coming in. So disengaging and disconnecting from I bet you have something good to say. Well, say it.
I was just gonna say we need to have workshops where
What?
people practice saying no, like, hey, can you come over, like, or can you come out and do this thing? And you're like,
Oh my God, that's so good.
like practicing saying no.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd go.
You know, because there's, like you said, there's this inertia that's dragging out the process and keeping us from that super fun life that feels better to us, because there's inertia, there's obligation, there's saying the right thing, doing what people want you to do instead of what you wanted, you know. It's just like,
and you can look at it as even the inertia is part of the old cycle that we needed, because it was the baby step to understand that we have, we needed order and structure and to understand basic principles. So now we outgrew that. We've outgrown that. So it's okay to let that go. We don't need to stay stuck in the obvious chaos that is happening, because chaos is a very basic principle before we have evolution, before we have even enlightenment or a renaissance, right? A period of renaissance. So we are at a very real moment of chaos, but I call it transition. So don't feed into the old model of control, which is when we give attention, how dare, this is so terrible. And it's that same old energy. And we're just giving our power away. And instead use your time, your attention, your energy to be grateful that now we don't need to be one more following the rules. Now we have the opportunity to just have our own schedule, step into our own identity, our own voice. Relationship models are shifting. This is one of the big themes of eclipses. The eclipses that we were talking about, and I speak of more in the workshop video, is the model. Our model of relationships are changing. We're not going to have the same idea or the same concept around marriage or union. Now we're leaving that primitive mentality, and even things like a union. Now it's not anymore for the purpose of procreation. Let's build a family. Let's move in. Now it's creation. So now we're taking a union to the next level. And what does that mean? If union now is about creation, then hey, maybe it surpasses sex, maybe it surpasses gender, maybe it's all, maybe it's none. We're creating it now. So all these exciting new ideas of reality are going to start coming in. And the quicker that we can let go of the fear, the old models, that being stuck in the distractions and all of that, we can allow our mind to look into the new possibilities coming in. And then with a community like yours, for example, learn how to access these abilities, which is more and more going to become normal. We don't need 10 years of practice anymore. You may notice that, right? Because you work with this. We don't need 3 years of, now it's so fast, it happens so fast. So all you need to do is get in touch with community, people that are doing this, and then activate it within yourself. And then start thinking outside the box and allowing yourself to just be original, be different. Being one more is going to be so boring. Yeah.
Hey, Stone, do you want to come on and share this? I loved your comment, the power in standing, knowing, well, like actually loving yourself, because we stopped loving ourselves because we're so different from other people. And now we're here. Okay. So she's Stone. Welcome.
Hi, Stone.
Hello, roomies. Hello, Rachel. Oh, what a fantastic ride. How awesome. I totally agree with everything you're saying there. It's like when you get to know who you are and the power of you, what you're worth, the value of you, being able, and one of the very early steps was being able to trust in yourself when you said no, knowing the power behind the energy in no. Okay, you're protecting yourself, you're standing up for you. You no longer can tolerate all these limited perceptions out there. You know that there's so much more, and that's why you stand up for you. You say no, and you say it with mana, strength and energy, because you're protecting who you are now. Now you recognize this fantastic journey that all us energy beings are on. And it's absolutely fantastic. The power within being able to break the spell casting and know that you are worth so much more. The magic is just endless. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing today. And thank you, Zinka, for letting me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stone. We should do like a one-off workshop called the No workshop, and basically practice with each other. Great breakout.
Honestly, that is
you have to rehearse, because you lose it. You chicken out.
Yeah, you do. And I want to add, there are two types of no's that we can work with, because one is the obvious no. There's one that is even deeper, where because of the programming and brainwashing, you actually think on the surface level, you think you want to do that. But if you actually stop and you meditate, and you really feel it, and this is also part of self-love. This is an even deeper part of self-love, is to really listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to your true yes, and then practice. Sometimes we want to be nice. Sometimes we want to accommodate people, and we deny ourselves the gift of freedom to be able to say no when we want to say no to something. So I think practicing saying no is a deep spiritual practice. Set you free.
Yeah. Wow. That's so cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess really that is true. Like, there's different practices to getting to getting to know ourselves. Someone told me, they were like, this is like in a business context. And they were like, you take your business client out to dinner and you ask them all these questions, you figure out what they want. And he's like, you should just take yourself out to dinner. You get to know yourself and ask you what, you should take inventory. Like, you need to
idea. I'm going to do that.
Right. It's like, we often,
so interesting.
You're reminding me of this idea we had. So for the Purpose Lab, we wanted to do this thing, like, in order to get into Light Bed, you have to interview someone new that's coming in, just kind of like a daisy chain. So, you go ahead and give them 3 questions, and so they record the 3 questions that they're wanting to know about this new person that they don't know is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we basically just play that back to them. And then they have to answer their own questions, right?
Brilliant. That is so good.
People be like, oh, wait a minute. Well, yeah,
Oh,
right.
good.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It'd be
wow.
fun. Well, so,
Wow.
and that's like kind of, I'm waiting for someone to raise their hand because we'd love to hear from you guys. But, it's kind of like you're reminding me of Burning Man, because Burning Man is this literal free for all, where we learn to be free within a very simple and, it's a very simple structure. The simple structure is that the town is going to be a U. There's no money. You can only buy coffee and ice, and that's it. And that, you know what I mean? So it's a very simple structure. And then everyone just does what they want within those small number of rules. And we've got to have rules of engagement with each other. But the looser they are, the more creative we can be. And it's just like, that's creativity. True. And like being yourself gone wild. I mean, you get people that have to wear their work clothes every day. And at Burning Man, they're like, oh, I've always wanted to dress, with all silver and like wear this weird thing, so it reminds me there's these different holidays in South America where they literally spend a week running amok, it's just like, because they're so repressed the rest of the time. So we're starting to learn to become less repressed. And, we're letting our kids like wear slippers and a mohawk or like, I don't know, weird, like a princess outfit to the supermarket now, so it's like, okay, great. So I like that culturally we're already allowing people to be themselves more and more.
We are becoming more responsible, and also more intelligent.
Oh, we have hands.
Okay, Stone again.
Yeah, well, let's take Adria.
Oh, we have more than one.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Okay, except I had a doctor's appointment and missed the luncheon, darn it.
But we had a Contact 250 integration lunch. It was great. We're all just like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sorry I missed it. I'm very down to earth. So the most I got out of this was how to declutter. Sorry. The rest of it is like, I can't comprehend. But I wanted to say, the next time you go to Burning Man, I will go back to Burning Man. 2019 was my last round. So when we could not buy ice because the trucks didn't come in. That's all I had to say.
Well, when I first went to Burning Man, it was way out in the playa. So it wasn't right at the edge. So it was literally, you got in your car and you had no idea if you were even going to find it, because for some reason with the curve of the earth, you just had to go, well, I think I need to go about 23 degrees this way for about half an hour. And hopefully you even find it. It felt like outer space in that sense that it was a huge departure from safety and everything, and inhospitable, with all the dust and everything. But so cool. Okay, Stone, I'm bringing you back up.
All right. I'm back. Okay. Atara was saying about Vinka was saying about the backpack. We can carry that backpack and it will weigh us down, but these are old belief systems. They are old patterns of hurt and stuff. We don't need that anymore. We're living in such a fantastic new energy right now, and by holding the highest frequency that we can, being in our truthful selves, we can let go. It was like karma is yesterday's friend. Karma was here. I dealt with karma. I got to recognize when karma comes, and the same as ego. When we're going through the self-discovery pattern, there's different stages to it. And we can say, okay, thank you for the work that you've done getting me to this point. I'm going to take over now. And karma is, from my experience, that is the same. Thank you, karma, for doing the job that you did while you were there, but I'm going to take over now. I'm a big girl now. And you know, and by doing that, I can still use the information that they had there all that time ago, but I can use it to the best of my ability. So I don't need to take it with me to the next level, but I don't have to forget that it existed at the same time. So by knowing where we came from, what made us, built our characters, we say thank you to that and give absolute, you know, if you've got to give yourself gratitude, you got to find that self perspective of who you are, because this is a journey you have been on. It's about self-discovery. There's nothing wrong with going out there and giving thanks to all your other deities and everything else, because every single thing on this planet has an energy signature, a frequency, a code for us to tap into. I'm honestly, I'm so blown away with the group today and stuff. It's fantastic, because this is taking us to another level, the next level of ourselves. And I heard we are decluttering, we are downscaling. You know, Zinka knows me, and I said in the early days of this year, I'm going to levitate. We're going to levitate, guys. And the only way we can do that is by acknowledging our footprint and what we can let go of, because you don't need to carry it with you all through your lifetime. You can tap into it anytime you want to. We are X amount of water. Water has memory. We are so aware of so many different things that they throw at us 24/7, and everything we can overcome. We are powerful beings, entities, energies of light knowledge. So that's me. Thank you.
And that's what we're waking up to. Yeah, these powerful beings. And things happen so fast now that, like I said, people's gifts and abilities are growing by the day. Our ability to access these miraculous states is not miraculous anymore. It's becoming normal.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as Stone was saying that, it's the reason why we can't teleport or shift completely quickly into new timelines is that karma. Is that, like, it's the residue of the change.
Well said.
You know what I mean? That we can't just make a clean break from.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, I have a burning final question. I also see that Susan just raised her hand. I also want to, I have a really good final question. I'm so
Hey, don't forget your question.
I won't.
Susan.
But I want to, I just want to share screen for one quick second. So this is Raquel's site. You can do the newsletter here. There's also her workshops and schedule and everything. And then also I just want to share, this is how you join up with LightNet. You go to LightNet. We're actually accepting applications for our Galactic Academy, which we're revamping later tonight. Wow. Super excited. And then you can go to the join over here on that orange button, and that gets you to, that gets you to the membership where you do spoon bending and the workshops and all that. Okay, before the final question, we have Susan real quick coming in with, hi, Susan.
Hi, Zinka.
Hi, Susan.
Nice to meet you. And I'm really enjoying all of this conversation. And thank you, Stone, for your contributions and such. And I'm very moved by all that you're say here. I do know that I appreciate all of these LightNet sessions with you, Zenka. I'm just, you are just an inspiration to all. And I know that we are all here for a greater purpose at this time. This is a very dark time in some ways, but we are the light to that. And we are here to shed that light and show that light of love for others who are crossing our path. And that is our purpose here. And each one of us has a special perspective on which we have learned and developed, and so that we can show others the way.
Yeah.
Has a place and a role. And I want to thank you for opening the doors for us to come together to do this and to share this wisdom and understanding of who and what we really are as love, which is life, life's omnipotent verities, eternal.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. You know, Susan, so Susan is wild. So not only has she seen UFOs, not only does she know her purpose, which is to help children, she's also a healer on the level of Bible healers. Like I've seen her bend spoons like only kids can do. Like I've only seen a few adults that can really curve it without touching. And then she's also able to cure people of diseases just using her heart and her, you know, so that is, you have become the Buddha, the Jesus, the Mary, like that's what we were talking about, where in this age we were shown the example, but now we're saying, okay, wait a minute, I am. And it's not so easy to cross that final like empowerment where you're empowered to the level of like someone that they write books about in the, you know, the Bible level empowerment or whatever it is, but it's in the nature is in every single human. Like we all have access. So yeah, congratulations, Susan. You're the people that really
blessed because it started when I was 2 and when I had a near-death experience and I met Jesus. He was the second being that I met. I didn't know that I had died. I had the MMR vaccine and I didn't learn until 2013 the whole story because nobody talked about it when I came back. I thought it was normal for everybody.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a part of life. And the man I met, Jesus, I saw a picture of him in 2013. It was painted by Akiani. She was a child prodigy. She painted at age 7. And when I saw that,
I think I know her.
You were like, that was who I saw. That's hilarious.
Yes, that was the painting. When I saw that, I said, that's the man I met, because when I was 4 and went to church for the first time, they told me I was going to learn about Jesus. And I got in there and they said, oh, there's Jesus. I said, that's not Jesus. And they thought I was upset about something. They didn't understand. But everything in my life has led to this point. He sent me back. I didn't want to come back. I remember every detail. I had photographic memory since I was 18 months.
Wow.
Of every detail of every person I met, every detail about every moment of my life.
Wow.
So
wow.
It's been a blessing and a curse in some ways, but I've still had to go through to understand everything, and the experiences I've had have all led to this time. I mean, even the witnessing of JFK's assassination and things of that nature. I mean, there've been some horrible things I've witnessed, but they have shown me that there really is light behind everything, and there is truth behind everything. And the reality is that we are love. And love is the highest power. It's not the, kissy lovey stuff. It includes that, but it's not separate. It's the energy that we are, and it's a golden light. I've seen it. And that's the healing light that healed me when I had 4-stage colon cancer. I was healed because they wanted to rip out my colon, and they wanted to do surgery immediately. They gave me two weeks to live. And so he went off to book the surgery, and I just prayed. I said, okay, God, I said, what do I need to do to heal myself? There's no way I want anyone ripping anything out of this body. Yeah, I know it's perfect and whole. And the surgeon came back 15 minutes later, all distressed. And he said, I don't know what's happened. I just can't understand this. He said, in the history of this hospital, that surgery hasn't been booked more than a day, and it's booked for 3 weeks. And I thought, thank you, God, I've got 3 weeks to heal myself. And within 3 weeks, I was in complete remission. And that was 1997.
Wow.
So I'm still here.
Wow, this is a sign.
That's
my sister's husband has cancer, and I was like, you got to let me get 8 of my friends together because I have
Yeah.
Susan, now you're on the list. But it's like, I know some people who do the power of 8 thing. And so, well, that's another sign that we got to do this, because his surgery's on the 27th.
And more than ever, we're ready now to access that part of ourselves. So it's having, for example, 8 people gathering 10, 20, 30, 50 years ago is one thing, but doing it now is even more powerful. And the reason for that, is because we are literally biologically opening up to receive and to express more of that godlike nature, that miraculous realm, right? So before, what used to be considered as a miracle or something supernatural is more and more going to be normal and natural. Yeah. And that's what we're actually going to cover on the next workshop. Cool. Is really the superhuman aspect of it. Cool. So miracles and healing and all of that. Yeah, that is going to become more and more normal.
Cool. Okay, the final question. Okay.
That's your question, right?
Yeah, my final question before we close is that you were saying something extraordinary, and a lot of people are talking about it. Is that we might not have to reincarnate over and over again.
Yeah.
What's pretty profound deal concept with that?
We don't need to anymore. We go through stages of evolution, and, man went through the fall of mankind. And it was part of our evolutionary process to understand ourselves and life in the realm of duality, polarity, and what do you do with that? So do we kill each other? No. What do we do with polarity? We create alchemy. But we needed to learn that. So we are at a stage right now where we don't need to anymore. And that can be approached from many different angles. It's a deep subject. But basically, the way I see it as an astrologer, I see specifically the children that are coming to the planet from next year on with Pluto in Aquarius. These children are going to come ready for that. The children more and more are coming with genetic modifications, DNA, right? Different DNA. It's like the DNA is ready to be a different human. And with that also comes, for example, live longer or live forever, right? So where does the need for karma come in anymore? You may have heard, it's just a matter of time before we're able to transfer our consciousness to a computer, for example, so it's like we're growing out of that whole thing of like, oh, I need to come back. No, we're going to be aware forever. Yeah. We're not there yet, but we're almost there.
Yeah. And like, if we heal 7 generations forward and back,
that's why
you're right. It's like,
that's why we're doing
this. So we
don't need to come back.
We don't need to come back. We can go party in another planet.
Exactly. And that's why this point is so crucial. Like the choices that people are making now is so important, because it's literally determining how their soul's going to keep on. We don't need to come back here anymore. So that puts us in an interesting place, because if you don't come back here and you choose to not be aware, then where do you go next?
Yeah, it's almost like, that's why I think collective intelligence is so important. And that's why I think maybe long life, as you say, like if you live 200 years, you'll definitely have a chance to clear everything up.
Yeah.
And because you naturally become wiser, hopefully. And also, if you remember your past lives, like a lot of people are now, then you understand yourself better and can dump more. Because they were talking about like your DNA line has some karma that you didn't really create. You inherited it, basically. And so if you're crying because you watch someone in a movie have a story that's not even like your life, it's probably because you got to clear that too. So it's interesting. Well,
but we're also making room to connect with cosmic family. So to be able to leave and not just have to be here on planet Earth, leave, come back, and have that whole connection with family and with the cosmos, which is our natural birthright, but we weren't ready yet. So, we don't need to just keep coming back here to redo karma.
Yeah.
We have more possibilities to expand and keep experiencing life.
Yeah. My son said, Mom, do they call us ETs on other planets?
Good question.
Probably.
Those weird.
Yeah. So I just want to take a moment to thank all the volunteers and the staff at LightNet, Adam, Coffee, Adham, Daniel, Brian, Sharon, and all the new volunteers that are coming in. We really haven't been set up to accommodate people. But it's really cool to see it all kind of coming together. So I just want a special thanks. Eric came by as one of our members. He dropped off these flowers the other night for this dinner party. It was like super great. And it was really great to meet people face to face for Contact 250. So that's great. And we're making more and more opportunities for you guys to meet each other. We have on the third Saturdays of every month, we have like a hangout where people go into breakout groups of 3 to meet each other. So again, check that out on lightnet.org and check out Raquel Spring stuff. It's so fun to promote your work, and I love what you're doing. And I'm so glad you're here in Sedona. So yeah.
I know. There are so many like updates that are just naturally always happening, and I just love to be able to share what's happening this month. Okay, let's have a chat.
Now I'm gonna have you on speed dial. So
Right.
wait a minute. What? Yeah. So we didn't get into the nitty gritty, but we're going to be doing that in the workshop. And also just as your curiosity peaks about this stuff, you become your own teacher learner. So
and
cool.
we can also check
my interest
on the next workshop. We can check where is Aquarius in your chart. I can look in yours and help you find out, because where you have Aquarius is literally where that light bulb is going off right now. It's a big moment of your life in that field. So we'll answer questions. We will look at people's charts.
Cool.
And we'll go deeper into the whole superhuman of Aquarius.
Okay, awesome. All right, you guys, sending love to all you tonight. We'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all.